Oh, I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
Yeah, of course. And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about it. The fragment I found in the garden. Oh. Man, it looks like it's fucking rock. I've checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. Alright. Man, the fucking material looked like it was, rock. But I guess it was metal. I mean, makes sense, you know, where else was the bomb going to come from? So, this was a pretty delicate operation, so they had to come and get the bomb. And then take that up to the body. Wait, how the fuck did they pull that one off? Well, I guess they wouldn't have had to go, like, directly past us to do that. But man, that's a delicate operation. Because we went... The body got found at 9. Wait, how the fuck? So, we went to the lab at 7, or we went to the gym, right after we woke up at 7. Then we went to the dining hall, then we went with Hina to the gym. Then we went up to the headmaster's room. And that happened at... Well, no, that didn't need to happen when that happened. That could have changed. It was a delicate operation to pull that one off without us seeing them. You know, there was a timing that needed to be performed on that. You can go soon? Very well, let's go. Alright. Which room is Kyoko's room? These pictures are so not helpful to me, dude. Okay, this is Kyoko. Oh, come on, dog. Well, here we go. And it's open. Why did you make me do that? So this is Kyoko's room. There's something on the table. This is the dojo room.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. Real fucking weird looking key, but yeah. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing that.
Certainly possible.
But if it is a key, I think I know what it unlocks. Unless I'm mistaken, yes. So... Oh, we can't look if she's used her sewing kit. Is her bed. I don't see anything interesting here, at least not as far as the case is concerned. Here's the bathroom. She might have certain articles hanging out to dry. I'd better not look inside. Look, dog. I don't give a fuck what's hanging up in there. Like, we're about to get murdered. Fucking look in the goddamn room.
What?
You want to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular. I thought we might find some kind of clue.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take out my time to search to come here? If you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Sure, yes, I do. More concrete. Kyoko gave me something. Yes, the letter. I'm sure I have it somewhere. Found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something certainly has happened, so open it. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets. That's all that was in there? Looks like it. Yeah, well, gee, I wonder. Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as soon as I lifted up the sheets, I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Ah. It's Class 78 Student Registry. Mukuro Ikusaba. It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with the key. Must be the blank. Kyoko said a death without meaning was unappealing. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Okay, hurry up and finish your search. I made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. Mukuro Ikusaba, female, the ultimate soldier. That's not what Kyoko said. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. Okay, so... like, what the fuck happened? This person was presumably as dangerous, if not more than Sakura, but they're maybe dead? In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir. Tied to Mukuro. Title is not what Kyoko said. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she'd received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she'd decided to return home when she did. Man, they're really gonna touch on, like, every single subject imaginable, aren't they? We had the transgender issue earlier, which, to be fair, I don't think they were considering, but has become a thing. Then there was the suicide thing, and now we're covering child soldiers as well. God damn, dude, we're touching on a lot of subjects in this game, aren't we? The Ultimate Soldier, a mercenary group. This doesn't feel real. See, she's not the Ultimate Despair, though. It's like a completely different dimension. It's like... no, it can't be Mukuro. Would the fucking Ultimate Soldier have red nails on? Oh, but she had a tattoo of a fucking dog on her palm, though, didn't she? Fuck, Fenrir. Damn, that's really incongruous. Holy shit. It's like one's non-fiction and the other is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. So now, so that has to be Mukuro's body, doesn't it? Fenrir? And then there's a fucking, like, wolf tattoo on her hand.
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. You recognize it?
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. How did she die, then? If we assume the body is Mukuro, who the fuck killed her? Kyoko? If that's the case, what the fuck is Kyoko? Because, like, I'd have to assume that the Ultimate Soldier is at least as dangerous as Sakura was. And, like, there's no way Kyoko was gonna throw down with Sakura. Unless, you know, we got, you know, all my expectations get subverted. This is all part of the world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Whoa, I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player, and the bit player is becoming our hero. It's you. How you got in your pretty little hand there? You found her profile. So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me. I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I won't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on dedication to organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow the regulations. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course.
Absolutely, I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all got together in the main hallway back then, there were 15 people there, right? I think that first meeting may have led you to a little misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? Are you saying?
In other words.
That's right. There weren't actually 15 of you.
Yes, indeed.
Total number taking part in the killing game was actually 16. It does make perfect sense that we never found the ultimate soldier. If anybody's gonna be good at hiding, it's gonna be them. 16, then.
Mukuro is the sixth, the one they call
Yes, I'm well acquainted with this scene. The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba. She's part of the school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
Huh?
Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because... Like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Make sense?
Well, now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm going to share a little secret with you.
Hey,
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in and day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars she doesn't want anyone to see. Fuck. Now the body could be two different people. Because the Monokuma file said the body was scarred. What? Now that's all you get. Fuck. Maybe it is Kyoko then. The body... Well, no, the ultimate soldier would also have scars. Fuck, I thought the Fenrir thing was really going to give it away, but now I'm not sure anymore. I'm still leaning more towards it not being Kyoko that's dead. But him saying that, it could be still. I thought Fenrir was going to clinch it with the tattoo, but... Kyoko wears gloves to cover up a bunch of scars. So on the back of her hand... the tattoo. Wait, no. But no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? There's no scars on her hands. Yes. Those fake nails on the corpse. Yeah, and you're not wearing fake nails with gloves on. That's true. Yeah, it's not Kyoko. Are you thinking about Kyoko again?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap.
Such ignorance.
His trap. God must really have hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student here. Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. Why are we assuming that? But why would he tell us that? Well, why now? I don't know, dude. just like, I don't know. Just because Mukuro is the one we know the least about right now doesn't mean that Mukuro is the one that was making those rules. He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later, but the mere fact that he said that proves Mukuro is connected to the case. No, it doesn't. It just, like... Who else, though, I guess, right? Could be Kyoko, could be Byakuya. Seems unlikely to be Hiro or Hina, but you never know, I suppose. Those are the only ones that are left alive, so... I don't know. There's no guarantee it's Mukuro that's making the rules. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of the 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case. The body is probably Mukuro. That would explain why we have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she said killing someone would make her part of the school killing game. Although, no. Mukuro, I guess... It makes a lot of sense. Now it makes sense. During the very first trial, Monokuma we pointed out that there was a 16th space at the trial, but Monokuma told us not to worry about it. That was obviously Mukuro's seat, but when Toko tried to not attend one of the class trials, he dragged her to the class trial. So there must be a reason that he didn't drag Mukuro there. So I guess Mukuro does make the most sense if you take that into account as well, because obviously she's got special exceptions if she didn't have to attend that trial. Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? I'm pretty sure that's Mukuro's body, but I'm very interested to hear about how that one happened. In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
But then, like, why did... The thing is that the hands looked so fucking different when they were stood over us in the middle of the night. They looked masculine and they didn't have scars on them. But maybe that's reading too much into it. I suppose we can't really rely on that image given it was while Makoto was, because we're seeing from Makoto's perspective. So I guess you can't necessarily rely on it in that situation as being like a reliable narrator. Based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit, correct? What makes you say that? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the Mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the Mastermind go out of the way to reveal themselves to us?
So, in other words...
Mukuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense then to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. If that's really true, if Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is? Man. This is gonna be a weird one, huh? I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of this wrong. I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. Yes.
Let's go.
Oh, sick. Oh, I love it. You love to see it. Crack that bad boy open.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? Yep.
That's right.
There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. 10 arrows in locker 6. They look like they're made of titanium. Titanium. Which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Let me look at the Monokuma file again. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. The head of an object about as... They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, at least several days old. So no, for a sec, I thought it was... It specifically said stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. That knife didn't really look like it was going completely through the body. The arrow suddenly made me think an arrow might have been the murder weapon. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. Maybe still use them as the object to hit him in the head with. It's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood stain?
I see.
If it is, that means it must be related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case. How could it be involved? Maybe used on the tarp? And that's all the locker has to offer. Is something wrong? It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room? Not the victim.
Why?
Or perhaps... Byakuya. Forget it. Come on, we need to continue to the next location. What next location? What? There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. So we're going to the archive. Are we supposed to find out about them? Where in this school would you go to research something? The archive. That's right. The archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to. We only have so much time before the trial begins, so let's hurry. Oh, sick. Oh, I love it when it just takes me there. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Byakuya seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to a shelf. Here we are.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure that most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. So, this is gonna have... Kyoko's gotta be pretty fucking scary if she's the one that killed them. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. Their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They've been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired. Some, however, believe that there was mounting internal tension within the group and they simply imploded.
What?
What? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. It's our reality. The only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here, an unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. So, did anything jump out at you? This must be your might be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. The report said something about the name Fenrir comes from, right? Oh, you stupid bitch. That's right, it said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show their members of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? They got a tattoo of Fenrir. Could that mean? Most likely. I'm real interested to find out how this person died.
Time is utterly silent,
and yet it constantly assaults us organisms. The
Remember to
Earth,
stay hydrated.
natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial.
Ah, finally.
So, please meet up in the usual spot.
Ah, this is what I crave. The time has come. All we can do now is try to uncover the truth.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. Let's get in there, boys. There's a nasty crime boy out there somewhere, and we've got to catch him. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you? What, are you jealous? Or are you just making up some creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting, or... Or what? Jesus! Oh no, I'm Monokuma. Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait.
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. It's me you're waiting for. I'm here. We all spun round to look. Nice to finally have confirmation, but it was pretty certain it was not her at this point that was dead. Kyoko, you're still alive. And maybe a murderer. It doesn't look good, given something related to the case turned up in a locker that she had the key to, but... yeah. There's still a chance it was Byakuya and we can finally kill him. You've got to always hang on to that last bit of hope, you know. That's a ghost. Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save up some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But it's okay that there's no particular penalty for being late.
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. I'll make sure you're sorry later. Hustle your butts onto the elevator, I'll be just one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. So you really didn't die? Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. He's right, now we've got to deal with the ghost. I told you to stop talking.
Let's go.
Let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Good call. Who knows what happens if we take too long. I'll be happy when this trial is all over. I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko. Before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you?
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. Oh. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. When did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to? To be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Just a second.
What are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial. Well, that seems to imply that she doesn't think she's going to die. Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation. This is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her. That's a strange way to put it.
Goodbye.
I hope she's not a murderer. But this is all very suspicious, obviously. Kyoko made her way to the elevator. It was a weird choice of phrasing. And the doors slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't ever imagine getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurably long period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes, but it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Oh yeah, let's go. Look at this. I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed. Let's get on with the show. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. I'd love to save the game. Thank you for asking. Alright. Extraordinary. Increases focus gauge by 2. Wow, that's pretty sick. Didn't learn it. Nah, I definitely learned another one. When would that have happened? Alright. Let's go.
Let's begin with a basic.
Yes,
You
yes,
can
yes,
fin-
yes.
I'll punish everyone. Okay, what?
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
Mukuro Ikusaba, case closed.
Kyoko! There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No! That's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
What are you saying, ghosts can't have legs? What are you, huh? Some kind of bigot? Huh? Huh? Why has my mouth stopped moving? I'm guessing it's because this controller just got disconnected and reconnected. Are you trying to use this as a microphone now? No. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Wait, no. What the fuck is going on now? Hold on. What ba 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 ba. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay. All right, we seem to have fixed it. The mouth is functioning again. I'm not communicating psychically. All right.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Damn, it's about fucking time. They've been stuck in that generation for a long time.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
I feel like this is going to be a real slam dunk.
Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead
Let's
body.
not, dude. Dude. Please don't make me do this.
Her traits?
Dude.
I got it! I'm talking
Why
about
are you
gloves.
even making me
They'll
work
give us
for
some
this?
insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
That's not strictly evidence given the explosion, but you're correct. It's still not her.
Probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool
Wait,
us
no,
all.
it didn't have those before. It didn't have gloves on before the explosion either. Look, why are you making me do this? Why is this a necessary step?
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a
Go
ghost.
and touch her.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I agree.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Aha, and that goes on the other part.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
But it wasn't wearing gloves. I'm a little upset about that.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
Okay, look, does it want fake nails? Does it want fake nails? Is that, or does it want tattoo?
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the...
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Hold on. Wait, no, I don't have it. This isn't like fucking Phoenix
That
Wright,
corpse
where I
is
can just pick any
absolutely
piece of
this entire
evidence I
discussion.
want. Because there was a body before the explosion, but that one's not allowed, apparently. Wait, exploded body analysis? No, that doesn't say anything about the gloves.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Okay.
No, that's wrong.
I feel like throwing wasn't wearing gloves should have worked, or just body before the
No,
body before the
There's no
explosion.
way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty...
Yeah, I feel like there's more direct ways we could have proven this, but I guess this is fine.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear
That is a
fake
good
nails,
point. That is
don't you
true.
think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Anyway,
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily
hey
life.
Kyoko. Any thoughts about your dead body? Do you have a statement to make about your dead body in the garden? This is so fucking stupid. Why do we have to do this?
If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Wow. That's incredible. What a twist. I didn't see that one coming.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
I know. For once, I can really empathize with you.
Okay,
I hope it
so
doesn't
then,
happen again.
Who's the real victim? First, we need to figure
Mukurohi
that out.
Kusaba, there's literally no other option.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset we entertained him at all. Probably tattoo.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Okay, probably not that.
And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Let me just see the next one.
And there's nothing else we can do,
Okay.
right?
Tattoo on hand is
If
the
Kyoko
distinguishing
really,
part.
It's gotta be... I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond... And there wasn't any description in... Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
We've seen a few of those.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was.
Why are my
Tattoo
eyes
on
weird
the
now?
back of her hand.
Oh, yeah.
It is her mastermind
Oh, whoops.
must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh god.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yep, that'd be the, You want me to... We don't have a, like, a Fenrir thing in here, huh? So then this.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
How do all y'all not know? Is Fenrir that unknown in Japan? Wow. I wonder what that word could be. Wait, what? Why did you hurt me?
Now I understand.
Did I break two and not notice?
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
What?
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Dude, we never even got a word of dialogue from her.
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
How nice of him to just say.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass
No.
trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
They're the ultimate soldier.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
Yeah, I'm curious as to where that came from in the
After
first
all,
place. Why
looking
did
at
she
her
say it?
profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Hello, my son. Have you come to solve some crimes with us?
If I remember correctly, That other information came from
Remember to stay hydrated.
Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Which is really fucking weird. Like, why did she say that? She obviously had the thing that said the ultimate soldier.
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
I mean, apparently.
Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this, no matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Well, if your family can't even come and rescue you after seeing you on TV, it can't mean that much.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brain!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
It would have been impressive if 2 people were hiding from us.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Oh, I'm really holding on to hope that it's Byakuya.
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Currently, it does point to Makoto and Kyoko. Kyoko and Genocide Chat.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
You are not wrong, but you're quite a bit off.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
It was at 9 o'clock.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
And after 7:30 a.m.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit. So I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
But the murder happened after 7:30. Yeah. Just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. That's easy, dog. We've already got all this figured out. Sprinklers, baby.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
I kind of figured it might not just take sprinklers.
We've established a time frame for the murder.
Exploded body
It took place
analysis.
somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
What does that say exactly? Because of this, the upper half was soaking, so this part.
And 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. And
Yeah, from to 7:30.
Or what are the other two, actually?
That's more than
enough time to commit murder. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the... We've established a time.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. And Makoto...
Yeah, from to 7:30.
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder.
Oh, it's probably copy
It took place
7:30,
somewhere
right?
between 9 o'clock in the... Yep. And Makoto...
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Probably
That's more
that,
than enough time to
and use
commit
it on the
murder,
other
I should
one.
think.
So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, come on. Alright, what do you want, then?
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10
Set
o'clock
this
at night.
here. Bro, what piece of evidence do you want? The evidence is it's fucking dry.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10.
Maybe it's the fragments that it wants. Removed from Monokuma in gym has disappeared. I guess it's this.
To 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think.
So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would...
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock
in the morning. Yep. And Makoto...
Yeah, from 10 to 7:30.
Okay, I'm getting upset. Yep, failed. Nope, nah, get me out of here. Yes.
I refuse to give up yet.
What piece of evidence do you want me to use? I feel like multiple of those should have been adequate explanations.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere
Sprinklers
between 10 o'clock
here.
at night.
Oh.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
I'm a little mad. This is always the most frustrating part of any of these kinds of games, when you know what the answer is, but communicating it is unnecessarily obtuse.
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Yes, it should have. If only I had presented another piece of evidence that said exactly that.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
Shut the fuck up, you weirdo.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
What?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Uh-huh. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence. Bullet time. Mm-hmm. The moment of truth.
I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No! That's enough!
I'm so bad.
Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No!
Stop.
That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This one.
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
What are you talking about, dude?
I'm so sick of her.
I know.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Pretty remarkable only half of it was on
Then I
fire.
guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? It seems weird that she was talking about us talking after the trial if she murdered her, but she's obviously the most suspicious one right
I'd just
now.
like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us.
Really?
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me?
I'm pretty sure they've blamed you a few times.
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway,
Well,
Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
She had a motive and no alibi. Well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from
yeah, there
getting
was a
wet.
tarp that was suspiciously clean on one side. Tarp.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
Wouldn't it have blood on it, though?
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting
Well, because
wet?
it obfuscates the time of death.
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Shouldn't there be some blood on the side of the tarp that was face down, though? Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? I can't think about that right now. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. Probably body before the explosion?
But
Let me read exactly what that says. When pressing the absent, then there were blood stains around the boat root, around the wound. But the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, there was no blood on the ground around the body.
the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
That was greedy. You've got me.
Shoot!
I'll never learn to not greed.
So the reason the tarp was the spring, but the underside, it was totally
It's because that side was protected since it was facing down toward the body. Of course it didn't get dirty.
Yeah, greed is bad.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Yakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you.
So I was just looking at the back of the person's head. It looks like they've got red hair.
If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, What if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Mm-hmm. The blood was
What
camouflage.
if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
That would explain the missing chicken, wouldn't it?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
We would have probably seen them.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Mm-hmm. Cheeky. As much as I don't like it.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
I didn't even consider that. That's a good point.
What? Chicken blood?
I was suspicious the knife wasn't
When I checked
actually
the
used to
chicken
kill
coop before
them,
the murder, there were 5 chickens.
since it was weirdly clean.
But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken? And then covered the body with its blood?
I know, it's fucked up, right?
Man, that's messed up.
I agree.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten
The
it.
plant probably did.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body.
True.
But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally
That's a
would?
good point as well. Coat was weird. No, it was on backwards.
Wait.
It was actually just
No.
on top of them.
The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Yeah. You know, I thought that was weird when we first saw it, but then I just didn't think about that any deeper.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
Hold on, I was just working something through my head right there. It just occurred to me. One of the pieces of evidence that I thought was really damning for Kyoko was that the key for the locker showed up in her room. She doesn't have the key to her room. Byakuya does. So, you're saying there's a chance?
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Oh, fuck me.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me. Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to
A
square
rare
one.
mid-case update.
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
That's only assuming it's actually one of the two.
Oh,
See? Pretty good idea, right?
no, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
One we found stuck in the body before
Here it comes.
exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front
Which
to
it's
back.
obviously not doing.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Kyoko had the knife. What a surprise. This was such an obvious setup.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier. Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000%
Yeah, I
convinced.
bet you are. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. Probably body before the explosion.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
That's a weak
Well,
defense, to
getting
be fair.
stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
I'm assuming it's body before the explosion. Because, I mean, that's the part talking about blood again. And my main thing here is that it's
the
mad
same one
clean.
we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife, that automatically makes...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Shoot!
There's no blood on the
The knife we
knife,
found
but which
lodged in the
thing
dead
do you
body.
want from me about
It's
this?
the same
Exploded
one.
body analysis? What does that say? No, probably not that.
It really is, isn't it?
When the body was found.
If he did have that knife before, then
Maybe fragments? Yes. Because the bomb didn't get taken out of Monokuma until we were in the
that
gym.
seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife, that automatically...
Well,
Getting stabbed is...
so there's no... You took that knife...
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Maybe?
The knife we found...
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It
Maybe
really
not.
is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
But just because I had the knife, that automatically makes...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
Disguised dead body? Is it that one? Later. Yes, probably this, because this is also establishing that the blood was just on the jacket.
So there's no question. You took that knife of yours.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
I'm not super confident it's going to take this one
knife we found
either.
lodged in
The
the
thing
dead
is, the
body.
piece of evidence I would have thought it would be was the
Same one we
knife.
gave to Makoto.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, failed. Yes.
Refuse to give up yet.
I didn't really have too much of this trouble before now, but I'm having trouble communicating with the game on this one.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I have that
Disguised on
automatic...
the second one. Okay.
No, that's wrong.
It's just, like, the obvious piece of evidence I
Wait,
feel for that
hold on.
one would have
The
been
stab wound
the
isn't what
knife
killed Mukuro.
and the fact there's no blood on it, but you know.
That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that
The
point...
fragments should also prove this, because if the bomb wasn't taken out until Makoto was in the gym, he couldn't have set the body up exactly how it was when we found it.
Obviously, the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
There's no way that's possible. Wait, what do you want for this one? This is this one? Single time.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
It's not looking good on the
Probably
Kyoko
stabbed her to
front
draw
still.
attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her.
The getting the bomb to the body is the thing
It
that's,
was all
like,
the killer's attempt to
bothering
destroy
me.
all evidence of their crime.
Like,
So they
when
wanted
did
us
that
to
happen
notice the stab
timeline-wise? I didn't
then
track
detonate the
closely
body
enough when
afterward.
everybody was together.
They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but... What's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like...
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
This does seem like the most reasonable explanation.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
It's like that. There's this idea that if you bang your hand on the table, there's something like a 1 in 10 trillion chance that your hand will go straight through the table, because all the particles that make up your hand would just happen to dodge all the particles making up the matter of the table. One of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life, but the exact same vibe as what Hiro just said.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Fragments.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
What's he doing in the... What was Byakuya doing in the
Then
background?
The explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
He was, like, taking something in or out of his jacket?
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right?
Fuck me, fuck me.
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Huh.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's...
Which one of these is it? Is it the Monokuma file? Victim's identity is known. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was one of the arrows, but that's not an option. It had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but those were at least several days old. Upper half of the body remained on fire. This is the wet thing. Oops. The body before the explosion. White jacket. Knife had been thrust through the abdomen. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. There was no blood around the body.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
I don't
I guess.
know what to use on this one.
Yeah, she was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
But what do you want me
Then
to
shall we continue the
use?
debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Or is this one of those things where I have it, but it's the wrong way around?
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence
Maybe
that
copy
showed she was hit
this.
on the-
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her
It's not countless wounds.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
Okay. Of course. If something seems obvious like that, but it doesn't work the one way, you should always try the other way.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body?
No, they're
They didn't
several
have anything
days
to do
old.
with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, It'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
Dude, that would be fucking wild. Will you imagine? What a flex. Someone's coming at you with a fucking pickaxe, reverse gripped.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any
It
kind
would
of
be fucking
power.
awful. You'd have to, like, grab both halves of the pick with both your hands.
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Okay, dude.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
You're all murderers.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Titanium arrows.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's
The
what
thing is
killed
with this is that it does make me go like, are they really like comparable to a metal pipe?
And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds
You're not wrong.
kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I can't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Bloody duct tape?
The titanium arrow. It was
Oh.
in the dojo locker, right?
Multiple of them were taped
I have
together?
no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal
Yeah,
pipe,
okay. If they were taped
It seems like an
together...
arrow would just be too thin.
Yeah,
No,
that
it's
makes
wrong.
sense. That does make sense.
You're right.
I hadn't considered
Just the
that, but
one
that does
arrow
make
would have been
sense.
too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Fucking wild though, dude. My man took a quiver of arrows, taped them together, and went, behold.
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks.
What?
One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Okay, sure, but like, wow, what a segue.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Would you even listen?
No, he doesn't do that.
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Well, that's patently false.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such...
Because we have proof, of course.
Oh,
So here's the thing. This thing that we're about to present isn't proof because she didn't have her key. But she's like, we saw her in the dojo. We literally talked to her in
What's
there.
the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do. If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all. Remember?
of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves...
Like, you know, but here we go.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is...
She did lie 100%, but she didn't have a room key.
Right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime.
When's someone gonna point it out, though?
This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give
So you're
up.
saying there's a chance?
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something.
This is not what I want to talk about.
You were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
Does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when? Which would mean that Kyoko killed someone for me.
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it.
I don't want to get too excited after the last case, but this seems like such a slam dunk.
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
Yeah. What does that mean? Oh, I can tell you what it means. Byakuya's account? What was Byakuya's account again? There was no corpse in the garden just after the garden just after midnight nighttime. Also said that he and none of them were alone at any point. This is probably not it then.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never
So you're
hide something
saying
from
there's
me.
a chance?
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room.
Yes.
Correct. But could I really have done that?
Okay, how do I
Those
do
words
this?
You just spoke. What do you mean?
What does it say on woodblock key? No. What was the other option?
I'm not the killer.
When the body was found.
You should understand that
How
more
do
than
I
anyone
say
here.
he has the key?
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
But
Maybe
Could I
this
really have
on
done
there's
that?
proof?
Those words you just...
exactly, I'm not the killer.
You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide.
There's proof
that you aren't the culprit.
Okay. Wasn't confident it was gonna take that as the answer.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
Yeah.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have
Oh,
possibly
wait,
put the locker key
no.
in there myself.
She has a thing that opens all the doors.
Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
Yeah, she told us that she has a key, a tool that can open any of the doors. God damn it. Ah, disappointment once again. Oh, but you're saying there's a chance. Oh, but there's a chance, right? There's a chance it's Byakuya. Come on. Oh, come on. A Masterminds Trap. Trying to trap Kyoko. What if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? The Mastermind's Trap. The victim was Mukuru, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? Run away. I mean, we have to pursue the lie.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko's definitely lying, and it must be because there's some deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. This is going to be Kyoko's account.
I didn't have the key to my room. Because I
Wait,
did.
Monokuma's account. What's that again? Apparently the killing game began with 16 participants. It is assumed Mukuro Ukusaba was the 16th student. Weird phrasing. Monokuma also revealed the reason Kyoko wears gloves. It's probably this.
There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, but I want it to be Byakuya so bad. Please.
No.
Please
Kyoko could have
don't
gotten
do
into her
this to
room.
me again.
You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Please.
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room
Oh,
in the school.
please. Well, why would she have put it in her room, though?
Which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
But why would she put it in her own room? That's asking to get found, isn't it?
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that?
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap. So I lost. That's all this means.
Huh? Then, are you saying, Kyoko, you really aren't the kid?
Okay, time.
Huh?
Wait, did I get baited into going for a bad ending?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up. All done, all finished.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late. So the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay?
I just got baited, didn't I?
Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we are...
I got baited, didn't I? Oh god. I've made a terrible mistake. I'm suddenly gripped with terror. You got it right. Brilliantly right. Does that mean Kyoko? But... no. There's something wrong. Kyoko.
Now then, I've prepared a VIP. Let's give it everything
No. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going back. Alright, I'm back again. You may accuse me of being a coward who cannot live with their mistakes, and you would be correct to do so. But I have the power here and you cannot stop me. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something to do with the Masterminds Trap that Kyoko mentioned. So I'm guessing, because I did realize it basically right after I pushed the button, why would Kyoko put it in her own room if she could open any other room? Which, you know, maybe I should have thought that through before pushing the button, but I was never one for having foresight.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
I suppose that could be true.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up.
Huh?
Time's up. Class trial's all over.
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time.
I wasn't expecting him to do this regardless of choice.
So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
So they're gonna kill Makoto now?
Voting time?
That's not what I expected to happen. I thought he would still wait for Kyoko to get accused before doing it.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Hey, hold on! What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
But... well, now what? Are we gonna change characters? Is this the bad ending? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone.
Yep.
That's interesting that he says the exact same thing regardless. So, does that mean it's none of the characters? And it was actually, like, someone outside of the game? So he's willing to accept any answer presented? No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense! It's the same as always. It's just like the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Well, what's gonna happen now, though? Now I'm even more confused. What? Well, that looks like it's gonna kill him regardless. Chihiro's... or alter ego's not dead either? Or at least there's a copy? What's going on? What was... Hey, was that... It had to be. Alter ego? Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planned it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
You finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Shit's getting out of control, dude. Is he God? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? What the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed.